Okay, so I was speaking to someone the other day at a cookout, and we were discussing one of the things that I had spoke about in one of my videos that she liked, and she actually applied to her and her bond with her daughter. But we got on the subject of, because she's, if I can give you a little insight, she is a single mother of a teenage daughter. And she was expressing how much she loves to spend time with her friends. Like, she loves being with her friends. Like, that's just everything, to her. And so her mom encourages it. She's like, great, like, I'm glad you enjoy, being with your friends. But all she asks of her daughter is to check in with her and, just call me and let me know, where you are, or answer when I call you, just checking on you. And her daughter was so annoyed with just that simple command, And her mom had great intentions, of course, because she's thinking of her daughter's safety, just want to, but her daughter was so annoyed and wouldn't follow through with that request every time, or often or any, without her begging, like, or her having to call her and check on where she is. And she's always annoyed. But if I could give a little bit more insight, I can say that at one point in time, the mother, she was in a unhealthy relationship that lasted for a very, very long time. So her daughter got to see some things that, didn't sit well with her, And I was letting her know, I said, I think your daughter she found her some friends to fill that void, in the absence of you, because you were there physically, but you weren't there mentally because you were, submerged in your relationship. And so she's really head over heels with her friends, and they just matter. And not having, she can't think of a day, going without her friends. And like, every party she has to be there, every meetup she has to be there, like, or she's gonna miss it, or she just. And I was telling her that it sounds like she has filled that void with her friends. And you'll go to, great measures to, protect that at all times. Anybody, no matter who they are, trying to intervene with the way that you are filling a void, And but I said, how was it with I asked the mom, how was it with her and her mom? And she was like, it's so crazy because my mom used to do the same thing. My mama literally used to bug me, what are you doing? Where are you at? What are you, And I never thought about it. She was telling me she never thought about it until I asked her. Like, she was like, that's crazy. I now understand why my mom was doing it, because I'm doing it with my daughter for great intentions, but my daughter is rebelling against me the same way I was with my mom, and it really just opened up, gave her a fresh perspective on, how things how things are right now. But I feel like it is true, that daughter, through all the times of her probably yearning for you, you were, yearning, trying to fill a void of your own, so it's not that it was the worst thing in the world, but at the time that your daughter was yearning for you, you were yearning to be loved and cared and treated correctly, and, from a void that you were trying to fill that maybe was created when you were younger, and so it comes back full-fledged, and we just gotta try to remember to think back on where we were, or what were we doing, at that age, and why, besides looking at, oh, you're just trying to be grown, you're just trying to be hot, you're just trying to be this and that, and you know, all of those things that we just first jumped to, which is addressing the behavior, you know, which that's just what we're shown to do, is address the behavior, but we're not shown to look at the root of the behavior. Why is the behavior happening? I mean, same difference of like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but like when a baby can't talk, all they can do is cry. Okay, cry, sleep, eat. And but if you've ever seen it, there's a I've seen it, you know, there's a thing where if their fists are clenched really, really tight, they're hungry, you know, and they're crying, and they have a certain kind of cry. And usually they say only a mother knows, you know, they can really distinguish, you know, they really can distinguish. But when someone brings, you know, meaning to it, then it all makes sense. It goes hand in hand. But the baby's fist is very, very tight, you know. But then as you're feeding them, and their hand will become more and more unclutched and loosened up. And boy, you can tell when a baby is just milk wasted. They're full. Okay. So you could look at it like some people do. Like, geez, what is wrong? Like, what? I'm giving you this, I'm giving you that, I'm this and that. Or just like if they have a bellyache and you giving the food, you done the things that you think that, but it's just a bellyache, you know. But all they're doing is crying, you know. You're addressing that. Well, I need to put you down more. Like, I'm not gonna pick you up. That's what it is. You're spoiled. You're this and that, and it's a wrong kind of diagnosis, you know. So bringing it to the adult world, it looks that same way, you know. We address the behaviors, but we forget to look any deeper into, you know, why, what has triggered that behavior. And it could be something that has acquired over time. Like, it could have happened, you know, it had been happening for a long time. Like, so when you do find out and you do try to address it, it may not happen overnight or in a week or in 2 weeks, because when you get to know your kid and you find out and give that warm invite for your kid to open up, and you still have to consider any words that you've ever said when they have tried to open up, and you just shut them down because that's just naturally what you know, or taught to do, or you protecting yourself or your feelings or your emotions, or you just like, I just dismissing their feelings and emotions. They may have completely shut down. So you have to try a little bit harder. And it's just like dating. Like, sometimes you have to try a little bit harder, you know, and just try dating your kid. The way the energy you put into a relationship is the same energy that is still a relationship. Okay. So I wanted to make sure I discussed that, because that was a good point that I talked about with her, and it even enlightened me a little bit, you know. It made me think over some of the situations in my life, or with my parents, or what else that I've seen. But I mean, really just take a look at it. Just think about it. What were your reasons for your actions when you were the age of your kids right now? Some of the things that you don't like, do any of them look familiar? And the best thing to do is literally be honest with yourself first, then be honest with your child, and talk about those things and work through it together.